On the subject of the schizoid personality, I want to speak to the younger generation. And the reason why I think that's important is because one of the presentations of the schizoid is not caring, not being moved this way or that way by seemingly good or bad. That can be so heartbreaking and frustrating for loved ones, carers, parents, friends. And you might see where people are just bewildered at your lack of response. And a part of that can be feeling invaded or feeling like attempts to move you in any way emotionally can feel like attempts to control you. So there's that defense. But also, maybe you just don't care. And a lot of people don't understand what that experience is like, where you just don't. And if you're like me, your baseline might be like, I don't really want to be here in the first place. Me getting up in the morning and doing the bare minimum, that's my energy spent. Just ticking another day off the books and doing enough so people can just leave me the hell alone, that's enough. So anything extra, I don't have the capacity for. But something you might not see is that it leads to long-term difficulties. And this is just my thoughts, that not caringness, if you will, if that's a word, also makes it difficult to think long term because you're just thinking, how can I survive now? And how can I do the bare minimum now just to get this pressure or these eyes off me or get just to get everything out of the way so I can go back to not existing. The future doesn't really matter. I'm just the way I picture it in my mind is like being a jellyfish. You don't really have a brain. You're just going from moment to moment trying to feel your way through the waves. And I hope that's not insulting to people, but that's the way I feel about my experience. Um, and to better create the picture, here's how not caring played out in my life. I didn't care about much, and I saw the frustrations in people who were around me. Um, I remember my mom being like, "You have no ambition. What's going on with you?" She was. It sounds like a horrible thing to say, but upon reflection, the level of frustration that she must have been feeling looking at me, who doesn't seem to care about a damn thing. If she's angry, if she's sad, if she's doing it, I'm just same. There's nothing I'm passionate about. There's nothing that seems to matter to me. What's driving me forward? Nothing. Where's my zest for life? Nowhere. When I got to school, I barely made it through school. I had some help. I barely made it through college. Again, because I didn't care, but I had some help, and I was very kind of my teacher. She made some adjustments for me. I remember her saying that a monkey could have passed that course, but I just didn't care. Even when they were trying to inviting my dad in and all this stuff, trying to what's going on with him? Is there something wrong? No, there's nothing. Why is it? I just didn't care. People was trying to find a reason. Life just didn't matter to me at all. I got to uni. Now there's no more grace. Now there's no more helping hands. I dropped out of university twice. And I remember the first time, before I dropped out, one of my housemates was like, everyone here is going to graduate and you're going to be stuck here. And you know what my response was? Okay. I didn't care. Always the path of least resistance. And even my choice to go to uni, like a lot of young people, it was the path of least resistance. There's more to say about that, but another video. My thoughts were, I'll ride out this frigging student finance and then I'll figure it out from there. Whatever happens, happens. I don't care. I don't have anywhere I'm going in particular. I don't have anywhere. I don't have anything that I care for. Why? What's the point in moving forward? What's the point in striving or being worried about it? When it was time to actually search for a job, I had years and years and years of struggling to get a job. I landed one job that I hated, and I don't want to speak about it too much on this video, but I think that job, I handled it in a very schizoid way, basically. But because I didn't care, again, not caring, I didn't care for social interactions, even throughout university. You know, there was a lot of times where I had housemates. I went to university with someone that I was in college with, but whenever I could, I'd just lock myself away in my room. I remember there's times where I'd be on the laptop morning till night, till morning till night, and I'd maybe just come down for an egg or two. And if it wasn't, there was points where I'd do better than others. If it wasn't for that friend that I went to university with, Lord knows where I would have been. But because I didn't care to develop those social skills, because I didn't care about relationships, all the people I knew in uni, bar one person I think I knew through that friend that I met in college. And even the people I knew in college, I knew through him. They were his friends. I was just tagging along. Now, not having those skills, I'm trying to get a job. And I'm thinking, why am I keep getting rejected? I didn't understand how to conduct myself in interviews. I wasn't good at verbal communication because I didn't develop those skills. I also didn't care about my appearance. I didn't care about ironing my clothes. I stopped ironing my clothes. Why does it matter? I didn't care about, my grooming. Even if you look back at the earlier videos on this channel, pardon me, I was still shaving my hair myself. And that's a remnant of that same philosophy because I used to feel like if it can be lost, why bother about it in the first place? And that's a dodgy way of thinking. So I didn't care about grooming myself. I didn't. At one point, I stopped buying detergent and soap for my clothes. I thought if I can wash it in water, what's the point? I didn't care. So my clothes smelled like damp. And because I didn't care how I came across to other people. It never occurred to me how I came across to other people. And so I'm thinking, why am I constantly rejected? Why am I never getting what it is I need from other people? And that's not to say you need to view people in terms of what they can offer you. But there's a point where you have to think if you're not getting what you need, what are you not giving that they need or that would be worthy of what you need? Because I'm presenting to other people like I don't care about myself, so why should they care? So that hindered me in the job world. And because I didn't care about myself, I didn't care about nothing mattered to me. So all the time, my dad would tell me, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. There were so many milestones that I missed, not just developmentally or whatever, but just things that I should have done in life. And as I've gotten older, I'm realizing people are like, oh, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? I'm like, oh, you mean that thing that everyone was telling me to do for my own good before? I didn't get it, so it didn't make sense. Now I'm playing catch up. And the thing is, even if your goal, this is not me telling you, oh, just wake up and care. Because if it's not in your tank, it's very hard to just pull that out of thin air. Yeah, some people are just closer to fatigue than other people. Maybe there's reasons for that. Maybe we'll explore that in the future videos. But if that's where you are, I'm not saying just care. What I am saying is take heed. You might be a rigid thinker like I was, and if it doesn't make sense, then you're just not gonna do it. You're just gonna survive. I'm saying don't be like me. Don't be that guy that's, you know, pushing 30 before you realize, oh, I need to make some changes. Oh, there is a reason why everyone's doing this thing. I'm saying do your best. If there's something that people are telling you to do for your own good, I'm talking about people that love you, investigate it at least and give it your best shot, because you may not see the benefits that you're getting from it, but I guarantee you'll see if you've hindered yourself, you feel it. And I'll give you an example. I live in the UK. I don't always consider the privilege of living here. But if I go to a country that's not as well off, I feel that immediately. So don't take it for granted. You putting in the effort now, the fruits that can come of it in your life. I think having this disposition makes it difficult for people to understand you, and your main line of defense might be to create distance anyway, to do things yourself, to keep it in. Like, I don't understand this world. Let me just go within myself and go into fantasy. It might feel counterintuitive, but seek help. If there's no one around you that you trust, seek someone who is there to be trusted, so to speak. Like, maybe there's a school counselor, maybe there's some kind of an advice person. I could have put that in a better way, but seek help. Be proactive in doing that. And the reason is, people around us, we need people around us to show us the things that we can't see. And this might sound hypocritical because in previous videos I've said it's delusional to think that you can be completely self-sufficient. But if the only thing that motivates you is being left the hell alone, use that as fuel. If you think about it, just being resigned to this semi-non-existence, that's not going to get you where you need to be. And again, I'll give you my experience. Being in jobs that I hated, being spoken down to. You know, I hate speaking to people anyway, let alone being spoken down to and being forced to do this and that just to make a living. If you hate being in that position at the bottom of a social hierarchy, bottom of a financial hierarchy, you can barely afford, you got a frigging budget to buy tuna, picking up coins off the floor to top up your electric. If you don't want to be in that position and you just want to be left alone when people can't tell you nothing, you've got to get up and do it now. You've got to make it happen, because no one else is going to hand it to you. And I hope I haven't been waffling, and I hope I haven't come across preachy, but I'm hoping that someone younger than me can take this on board and run with it. And regardless of how you feel, make those efforts now and seek help from people who can help push you along. If you don't have that steam yourself to get yourself there, someone can be there to support you. Even though schizoids, we might feel like the world's an unsafe place, people can't be trusted, take this leap of faith and try and find someone who you can trust to support you. And you know, everyone listening, even the people not listening, I hope that we all come to a better place. And I hope that younger people who have this disposition can have a much better shot at making something or building a life that they're happy with.